That's my water.
What?
My water, you're drinking it.
Dear Lord. Have you been drinking it?
Yes, it's my water.
Well, that's it then. I'm dead.
In 2007, a new sitcom premiered on CBS. It followed two brilliant physicists, their quirky group of friends, and their often awkward attempts to navigate everyday life. At first, it looked like just another comedy, but one character would soon separate himself from everyone else. A genius with an IQ off the charts, an obsession with routines, and absolutely no filter, his name was Sheldon Cooper. Over the next 12 years, Sheldon would become one of the most iconic characters in television history. His catchphrases would be quoted around the world, his personality would inspire countless memes, and millions of viewers would tune in every week just to see what he would say next. But creating a character this unforgettable wasn't easy. In fact, when the show's creators were casting Sheldon, they had no idea they were about to discover the perfect actor for the role. At the time, nobody could have predicted that a relatively unknown actor like Jim Parsons and a brand new sitcom would soon become a television phenomenon. But before he became Sheldon Cooper, Jim Parsons was just another actor trying to make a name for himself in Hollywood. Born in Houston, Texas, Parsons discovered his love for acting at a young age and spent much of his childhood performing in school plays. Determined to turn that passion into a career, he studied theater at the University of Houston before earning a master's degree in acting from the University of San Diego. By the time he finished his education, Parsons had developed a strong foundation as a performer and was ready to pursue acting professionally. After moving to New York, however, Parsons quickly learned how difficult the industry could be. Like countless aspiring actors, he spent years attending auditions, facing rejection, and competing for even the smallest opportunities. Success didn't come overnight. One of Parsons' most significant early television appearances came in Judging Amy, a popular legal drama that aired in the early 2000s. While his role was relatively small, it marked an important step forward in his career. For a young actor still trying to establish himself, landing a part on a nationally broadcast television series was a valuable opportunity. Around the same time, Parsons became recognizable to many viewers through a series of FedEx television commercials.
Did those shipments get to Detroit this morning? No. Did you use FedEx Express like I asked you? No. Remind me again why I keep you around here? You're my dad.
While commercials weren't the breakthrough he was hoping for, they gave him exposure and demonstrated his natural comedic timing. As his resume grew, Parsons also began appearing in films. In 2003, he played a small role in Happy End, one of his earliest movie roles. He played Nicky, a young man connected to the film's complicated web of relationships and family dynamics. Although the role was relatively minor, it gave Parsons valuable experience working in a feature film and allowed him to showcase his acting abilities outside of television. At the time, it was another important step in building the resume of an actor who was still searching for his breakthrough role. Then, CBS began casting a new sitcom about a group of highly intelligent scientists and their everyday lives. That sitcom was The Big Bang Theory. Created by Chuck Lorre and Bill Prady, The Big Bang Theory was unlike most sitcoms on television at the time. Instead of focusing on families or workplaces, the show followed a group of brilliant scientists whose intelligence often made everyday social situations more complicated. At the center of the story were Leonard Hofstadter and Sheldon Cooper, two physicists living together in Pasadena, California. Their lives changed when Penny, an aspiring actress from Nebraska, moved into the apartment across the hall. The contrast between Penny's outgoing personality and the scientists' awkward behavior quickly became the heart of the show. But before the series could become a success, the creators faced a major challenge: casting the right actors. While every role was important, Sheldon Cooper was by far the most difficult character to cast. He was a genius with almost no social skills. The creators needed someone who could make Sheldon funny, lovable, and believable all at the same time. As auditions began, dozens of actors were considered for the role. The producers knew exactly what they wanted, but finding the right person proved difficult. Then a relatively unknown actor named Jim Parsons walked into the audition room, and everything changed. For years, Parsons had been searching for the role that could finally change his career. He had spent more than a decade studying acting, performing in theater productions, appearing in commercials, and taking small television and film roles. Like thousands of actors in Hollywood, He was still waiting for the opportunity that could take him from a working actor to a star. That opportunity arrived when he auditioned for The Big Bang Theory. According to series creator Chuck Lorre, Parsons' audition immediately stood out from everyone else's. The producers had seen countless actors attempt to play Sheldon Cooper, but nobody seemed quite right. Then Parsons walked in and delivered a performance that perfectly captured the character's intelligence, awkwardness, confidence, and humor. Lorre was reportedly so impressed that he asked Parsons to return for another audition. He believed the performance was almost too good and wanted to make sure it wasn't a one-time occurrence. When Parsons returned and delivered the same performance again, any doubts disappeared. The producers had found their Sheldon Cooper. When The Big Bang Theory premiered in September 2007, nobody could have predicted how successful the series would become. The show's premise was unusual for network television. It focused on scientists, comic books, video games, physics, and geek culture, at a time when those subjects rarely appeared in mainstream sitcoms. At the center of that world was Sheldon Cooper. From the very first episode, Sheldon stood out. He wasn't the typical sitcom character. He wasn't the cool guy, the romantic lead, or the lovable underdog. Instead, he was a brilliant theoretical physicist who struggled to understand social situations, took everything literally, and approached life with a level of logic that often confused everyone around him. What made the character fascinating was the contradiction at the heart of his personality. Sheldon was one of the smartest people in every room he entered, yet he constantly struggled with situations most people considered simple. He could solve incredibly complex scientific problems, but he often failed to understand basic social cues. He could explain advanced physics theories, but he couldn't always recognize when someone was upset, joking, or being sarcastic. Those contradictions made the character endlessly entertaining. Much of that success came from Jim Parsons' performance. Rather than portraying Sheldon as simply arrogant or rude, Parsons added layers to the character. Beneath Sheldon's confidence was insecurity. Beneath his stubbornness was vulnerability. Beneath his obsession with rules was someone who genuinely found comfort in structure and routine. Those details transformed Sheldon from a stereotype into a fully realized character. One of the most impressive aspects of Parsons' performance was his ability to deliver the show's scientific dialogue. The scripts were filled with references to physics, mathematics, engineering, astronomy, and technology. Many actors would have struggled to make those lines sound natural, but Parsons delivered them with complete confidence. Even viewers who didn't understand the science believed that Sheldon did. As the series continued, Parsons developed countless small details that became essential parts of the character. There was the famous triple knock: penny, penny, penny. There was Sheldon's designated spot on the couch. There were his color-coded schedules, roommate agreements, and strict daily routines. There was his inability to understand sarcasm. And of course, there was Bazinga. What made them work, however, was consistency. Parsons never treated these behaviors as simple jokes. To Sheldon, they were completely normal. That commitment made even the most ridiculous moments believable. As the show's popularity grew, audiences quickly connected with the character. Fans began quoting his lines. Merchandise featuring Sheldon appeared around the world. His catchphrases became part of internet culture. For many viewers, Sheldon wasn't just one of the main characters. He was the reason they watched the show. By the third and fourth seasons, it had become clear that Parsons was delivering one of the defining comedic performances on television. The awards soon followed. In 2010, he won his first Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Comedy Series. He would eventually win 4 Emmy Awards for the role. Critics consistently praised his performance, often describing Sheldon as one of the most unique sitcom characters of the modern era. Yet one of Parsons' greatest achievements wasn't making Sheldon funny. It was making him grow. Many sitcom characters remain essentially unchanged throughout an entire series. Sheldon evolved. Over 12 seasons, viewers watched him slowly develop meaningful relationships. His friendship with Leonard deepened. His relationship with Penny transformed from constant frustration into genuine affection. He learned to appreciate Howard and Raj. Most importantly, he met Amy Farrah Fowler. Amy's introduction would become one of the most important turning points in the series. For the first time, Sheldon met someone who understood him in ways nobody else could. Their relationship began awkwardly, as almost everything in Sheldon's life did. But over time, it developed into one of the emotional centers of the show. The challenge for Parsons was balancing that growth without fundamentally changing who Sheldon was. If the character changed too much, audiences would no longer recognize him. If he didn't change at all, 12 seasons would feel repetitive. Parsons found the perfect balance. Each season revealed new layers of Sheldon while preserving the qualities that made him unique. By the final years of the series, viewers had watched Sheldon transform from someone who avoided emotional connections into someone capable of expressing love, gratitude, and vulnerability. Perhaps the best example came in the series finale. After spending years focused almost entirely on his own achievements, Sheldon stood before the scientific community after winning the Nobel Prize and delivered a heartfelt speech thanking his friends. For longtime viewers, it represented more than a decade of character development. It was the culmination of everything Sheldon had learned. The moment became one of the most emotional scenes in the entire series. By that point, The Big Bang Theory had become a global phenomenon. The show aired in dozens of countries. Millions of viewers watched each week. It became one of the most successful sitcoms of the 21st century. And at the center of it all was Jim Parsons. His performance helped transform a niche comedy about scientists into one of the biggest television shows ever produced. The impact extended beyond the original series. In 2017, CBS launched Young Sheldon, a spin-off exploring Sheldon's childhood in Texas. The series became a success in its own right and introduced the character to an entirely new generation of viewers. Even years after The Big Bang Theory ended, Sheldon Cooper remains one of the most recognizable television characters in modern history. Looking back, it's difficult to imagine anyone else playing the role. Many actors auditioned, many talented performers were considered, but only one actor could make Sheldon Cooper feel real. Jim Parsons didn't just play the character, he defined him. For an actor who spent years searching for his breakthrough opportunity, The Big Bang Theory became far more than a successful television show. It turned him into one of the most celebrated sitcom actors of his generation and gave television one of its most iconic characters. More than a decade after the show's premiere, Sheldon Cooper remains proof that the right actor can transform a well-written character into a legend. Looking back, Jim Parsons' story proves that success doesn't happen overnight. Before The Big Bang Theory, he spent years working small roles and waiting for his breakthrough opportunity. When that opportunity finally arrived, he turned Sheldon Cooper into one of the most iconic characters in television history. Over 12 seasons, Parsons helped transform The Big Bang Theory into a global phenomenon and left a lasting mark on popular culture. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories about the actors and roles that changed Hollywood forever.